Okay, I'm back, and just wanted to take a few moments today to update you where we are with the new Dove building project. And I've been wrestling a couple of days on just how to express this without getting so detailed that it bores you to death. But this is a huge project for the Dove. We've never taken a step of faith quite this big. I thought television was a big step of faith, and it was at the time. But today, taking on a building project is huge. And for over 5.5 years, we have been looking for a building. We are literally just maxed out where we are. It's been wonderful, but God has been increasing the Dove's footprint with radio and television and internet and all of these things. And with that came some added staff and things that we needed to do. And the best way I can describe where we are today is we are a size 12 in an 8 shoe. So we are maxed out. There's just not much more we can do here. And my heart's desire is not only to reach more people with the gospel through media, but also to get more students in here and train them to become the next generation Christian broadcaster, whether they go into secular broadcasting or they go into Christian broadcasting, or at least go back to their church and become educated on how to use media in their church. In either case, our desire is to continue on with our internship program and training students in all aspects of Christian media. Well, finally, after looking at 60 some odd buildings over the last 4.5–5 years. I have to tell you, at times I was tremendously discouraged and frustrated. We actually had deals, and then they fell apart. Some things just didn't feel right, you know. And so I backed away. And all of a sudden, as you know, we asked you to pray. Our prayer team was praying that, Lord, that you would provide an opportunity for the Dove to find a home after 30 years of renting. Is it possible that we could find a building that we could afford that would fit our budget, which isn't a whole lot, and yet give us the room to expand to do more? And the only thing I can say, the short story, is that God miraculously has supplied the opportunity for the Dove to buy a building that fits our budget in terms that we can afford, and move forward into this building. And where we're asking you to help is that we have to renovate it. There's no question about it. We have to change it into the studios and the things that we need. And so it's an 8,000 square foot building. We're putting in about a 3,100 square foot mezzanine in it, which we can put offices upstairs and use the downstairs for studios. And it gives us plenty of room for growth. It's located at the airport, of all places, 2070 Milligan Way. And so if you go out at the airport and you're on Milligan Way, you come past Mercy Flights Around, you'll see it tucked in behind there. And Mr. Bern Case, the airport director, has been very gracious in helping us accommodate to work out all the details to get in there. And we're working with now the permits that have to be done. And I'm a little overwhelmed with it. My to-do list is huge, and working with some contractors who are working with us, Rush Binky and others, Claudio Alvarez and some others now, who are going to help us figure out how to get this project done. And on the screen, well, I don't see it, I'll show it here to you in just a moment, are some potential layouts of what we're going to do. Those watching on the Dove TV can see a little bit of a 360 view of what we're going to do with the building, not only upstairs and downstairs. That is a downstairs view that shows offices, radio studios, a television studio, and a fairly significant room that we can do ministry in as well. So we look at this new building as a ministry center, a training center for students, and a broadcast facility that we can develop more content for radio and television in spreading the gospel. So I can't say that this hasn't been without challenges. It has. I think anytime you take a step of faith, you feel the pushback of the enemy that doesn't want you to go anywhere. Every time we take a step of faith to put another radio station on the air, or a translator, or even the television station, you take these steps of faith, and then there's this kind of an attack of opposition of what you do. We certainly have felt that in many ways. But I know in my heart this is of God. I just know that. And it's that I operate on and move forward, and the staff and everyone, we move forward with this. And so it's come down to, between now and January, we have to raise about $75,000 to do the preliminary work to get ready for the build-out. And maybe you've gone through this with your church and you understand what I'm talking about. It's a new experience for me. I'd just rather stay on the air and promote other ministries and do what we do and spread the gospel. But now we're involved in this, and we have to, because it's a blessing and we need it. Desperately, we need it. So the $75,000 that we need is for upfront architectural fees, some engineering fees. And what I mean by engineering fees, some of the structural engineering that has to be done on the inside, and permit fees. We're estimating those. And so that's what is needed. And we just ask you to pray about what the Lord would have you to do with a special year-end gift. I know a lot of other ministries are in the same mode. So don't take from what God's called you originally to be involved in. But if the Dove ministers to you and you know that it's helping other people and you want to help us to get to this level, I see the building as a tool. That's all it is a tool to do more for what God's called us to do. Then pray about it and see what the Lord would have you to do in a special year-end gift to the Dove to help us with this project. This upfront funds is needed right away. We don't take possession of the building till after the first year, and then we figure it's probably a good 60 days, if not a little bit more, of planning the build-out, and then 3 to 5 weeks of actually doing the work of the build-out, and it's going to be done what they call a fast-track build-out. You can go to the Dove website. Right at the top of the page, you'll see a big red button up to help build the Dove's new home. You can click on that and get involved in the project if you want to, not only financially, but maybe with your material resources or even your volunteer help. You can let us know on that, and we'll get back to you. But I am asking for your prayers. This is a huge opportunity. I was given a report just 3 days ago now, of some of the people who go to the Dove website, some people who go to the Dove programming and look at some of our YouTube videos of the previous shows that we've done, of the interviews that we do here on Focus Today. And did you know in the month of November we had over 42,000 YouTube views? That is huge, out of little old Southern Oregon and the Dove. And people are downloading our YouTube content, of the interviews that we do, and then they share it with other people, and it goes to somebody else, We're getting letters from states all over the country. We're getting letters from other countries and emails. So the Dove is impacting people. And here's how I see it. Just share my heart with you for a few moments here. If we're going to reach people in these crazy days in which we live, I believe media is the missionary tool of our times. We know a lot of people are turned off from church for various reasons. We know a lot of people will never darken a church door. We know a lot of people want to go to church and can't, whether it's family dynamics or health or whatever. They're locked in and they can't get out. We know a lot of people who are desperately seeking God, and they're looking for answers to life's tough questions. And the key verse that the Lord had given us quite a few years ago that solidified what we do with television is this verse. It's found in a couple of places. It's found in Isaiah 65 and also found in Romans 10:20. And it says this: I was found by those who were not seeking me, and I manifested myself to those who did not ask. So God is using the content of the Dove's radio and television programming and matching it with the person at the right time when they're not even seeking Him or looking for Him, and all of a sudden He matches the content, and in that content He manifests His love to them. And that's the essence of the letters that we get and the emails that we get from people who have been touched by the Dove's programming. And so our desire is to do more. Our desire is to create more programming that's impacting to lives, both radio and television. I just feel deeply about training the next generation in what we do here and let them take it to levels that God only knows. We want to be on all of these platforms that we possibly can to reach people. And then we trust God to do what only God can do, and that's matching the content with the person's need at the right time. And believe me, He is doing it. 42,000 YouTube views just in the month of November. I think we had 33,000 some odd people go to our website last month. And so we know that God is using the Dove in many, many ways. And then this little devotional. I sit on the board of the Word for You Today devotional. And we are sending out 7.5 million of these worldwide every quarter. There are several thousands that go out here just in Southern Oregon. And God is using this book all over the world. Coming up in January, finally a Spanish edition is coming out. And 4,200 Spanish-speaking churches in the United States have put their hand up and say, we want a copy of this book. And boy, it's just exciting to see how God is using this. What's it all about? Bringing hope, bringing encouragement, bringing healing and information to people who need it. And when you support the Dove, you're part of that. I can't tell you what your partnership means to us here. Every month at the Dove, every month, almost every week, is been accomplished by faith. We don't have huge budgets. We don't have any big sugar daddies out there underwriting things or anything like that. We haven't got any big foundations doing anything. It's all done by those of you who love what we do and support us in doing it. And we know that there's a huge open door to reach more people with unique and different programming. And we have a fairly, well, not fairly, we have a big announcement that we can make in January of another accomplishment of the Dove TV that's just been significant. And so God is using this. So pray about helping us with a year-end gift. We need to raise $75,000 between now and the end of the year. Pray that the construction goes smooth and we get the help and the volunteers and the material donations and the things that we do to do this build out. We think the build out's going to be around $360,000, maybe a little more, but that's a rough figure of what it's going to cost to renovate the building to get it ready for what we have to do. Pray about that. Pray about other opportunities to get the Dove on other platforms. We are still negotiating with Dish and Direct. We haven't given up. It's been very challenging. It's the best word I can come up with. We just need God's favor with those two companies because there's really no reason for them not to put the Dove TV on those two platforms. So would you continue to pray with us that God would give us favor to do that? And then next year we're putting on some more translators in some other key areas. And the Dove TV will take a significant jump forward in some other areas that we're working on technically. So all of this is done because of you believing in what we do and partnering with what we do to reach more people. And I just want to say thank you. Your partnership means everything to us. We literally cannot do what we do here without you. In fact, every day, every week, and every month is a step of faith. And then when we took on the building, that's perhaps one of the biggest steps of faith I've ever done in my whole life. And here we are, right in the middle of it. So thank you for whatever the Lord leads you to do, okay? You can get a hold of us. You can go to thedove.us. You'll see a big red button at the top of the page. It says Help with the Dove's New Home. You can call us anytime here at the Dove, 541-776-5368. You can certainly go to the website and support us there. Or come on by. We'd love to meet you. And thank you for whatever the Lord's leading you to do, okay? All right, stick around. Our good buddy Gene Getz is going to be with us from the Life Essential Bible. We'll have a little bit of a Bible study together with him coming up in just a few moments.